All right, here's a quick rundown of everything needed to get through the formative force score. You're going to go to my Google Drive link to make sure you've got a clip to work with. In Premiere, you'll take a moment to trim it down to roughly a minute, let's say. You're going to create one singular timeline with 4 copies of your trimmed clip. So I'll review that, how to do that in Premiere. You're going to be adding music to each of the 4 scenes differently to create emotional impact for each one. And then you'll be adding transitions between each clip with essential graphics in Premiere Pro. So you go first, find a clip you want to work with, and then once we get to the point where you're in Premiere and you've got your copies made, at some point you'll want to swing back through the home page here, maybe peruse some of my online resources, and get yourself some music downloaded. This is a link to freesound.org, which is a nice resource. It's one you would have to sign up for an account for if you did want to use, but they have a lot of nice features inside of here, such as being able to sort by tags and things like that. So I'll let Freesound load up for a second here. Looks like it's taking longer than usual. First, with my setup, I've got my folder here. That's always step one, make a new folder. I've got a lot of things in here already, but bare minimum, you would want to set up your video in there and then go to Premiere Pro, make a new project file, and drop it in here. These 4 pieces are musical pieces that I downloaded off of freesound.org, and all of these other folders get created when I start my project in Premiere. So here's freesound.org. I just spent 10 minutes kind of looking around in here. These tags are kind of nice if you want to have a cinematic feel. You can go for that. If you want to have a dark kind of feel to your piece, go for that. Or if you want to search for sounds as well, if you're looking for like a lighter piece or maybe something that is adventurous, or who knows, you can search specifically and try and find yourself some clips that work. I was just kind of listening to a few pieces, making sure that they are, over a minute long, because that's what I'm aiming for with my clip in Premiere. And then just got those downloaded and organized ahead of time in the folder. So in Premiere here, I've already done some work. I brought in my video file already into my project panel. I'll go ahead and also put in my audio clips into the project panel as well. So I've got 4 pieces. I'm going to drop those into the project panel here so that those are ready to go when I need them. Once you get your video clip in, you'll want to select maybe, like I said, about a minute that you want to use. And I've got mine here, and then from there it's just copy and paste. You can right click, copy, and Command V is paste, or I would think maybe you can right click and paste, perhaps not. I just did keyboard shortcuts, Command V, and then put them back to back to back here. I have one audio layer, which is the original sound effects that are in the clip. Crash, bang, boom. Your job is going to be to trim in different clips of audio for these pieces. So I've got one piece that was kind of like a mystery piece, so I can trim that to fit this clip. I've got one that is kind of like a horror theme kind of, so maybe that's my second clip. Trim that to fit. Another one that's like a sad overture. Trim that to fit. And my last one will just be Yakety Sax, which is kind of like a comedy, very classic comedy piece. Okay, from there you might want to be adjusting some levels of audio, and the easiest way to do that would be, the easiest way is to expand your view here by dragging on one of these buttons, and it kind of expands your view of the audio tracks. So on A1, if I wanted to make adjustments to the levels of the sound effects, I could do that here. But my song is on audio 2, so I could drag this little line up or down to adjust the levels there to feature one sound more than the other. Or you can always right click on the clip and go to audio gain and increase the decibels. And you can experiment with different mixes there. So now I have kind of 4 distinct feels for my piece. And this one I could maybe increase the volume of. Very different feels. The last piece is using the essential graphics as either transition pieces. You'll also need some, as you can see here, I've got some titles. So how this works is you'll need the essential graphics window. Go to Window, Essential Graphics. It'll pop up this little side window here. And you go to Browse. So there's a lot of great stuff in here. They have some transitions, and what you'll need is some sort of title that you'll be using. A lot of these are animated. Talk about how to use those. So I've got one piece here kind of set up as the beginning title for my scene. Let's delete that out and replace it with something else. So let's say maybe I want to use this angled title piece here. It looks like it has a little animation to it. Looks like that'd be kind of fun to add. So these will get dragged onto the video layer above your video because this is kind of like an overlay. So that gets added on V2. You drag it directly onto your scene. To be able to edit the text, you can double click on the effect, and it has some areas where you can get in and edit the text. So mine says your title here, so I can say, you know, 4-score assignment, and maybe on the next line it says my name. And then I've got this piece on top. Let's see if I can render that real quick. Let's see, sequence, render selection. Let's clean it up a little bit. I was struggling to render my piece right now, but in theory, I'd have a nice graphic up above here that I could view. Maybe with screen recording, it's a bit too much to ask. There's also nice transitions built into here. If I go back to Browse, I added in a block reveal transition. It's just kind of a nice option to transition from one clip to the other. So I've got that piece kind of slid right in between these 2 clips here so that I would be able to have a nice clean selection between those 2 pieces there. I'm not sure why my preview is not loading, but I'll just trust that those are there. You also want to add some transitions between your audio clips. Right now I've got these 2 audio clips here. Quick review of how that works. You select your 2 audio clips. Go to Effects window. Mine is not open at the moment. Effects, and this will be a audio transition, and I'm going to do constant power. And remember, the default behavior for that transition is to only start at the beginning of this clip. So I want to make sure that that transition gets moved to, there we go. So I select the transition, and I can do center at cut, which will allow me then to spread this transition out. This should be a review of a formative we did a while back, and now I have a more moderate transition between those 2 audio clips. So between the audio pieces at the bottom and these essential graphics at the top, those are going to be some nice good challenges that we'll get past in this particular assignment. Good luck.